Hello, Larry, and welcome to WCFM Marketplace. How are you doing, Larry?
I'm doing pretty well on yourself.
And I'm doing good. Larry, would you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes, my name is Larry Weimer with United
Mm-hmm.
Promotions, powered by Color X Prints.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been actually in business for about 2 years now. I started off with screen printing, and it's more of a hobby, second job for me. And as far as you know, my marketplace goes, one of the things I wanted to offer was custom products to customers and something that was easily integrated with WordPress that I can just click and play or plug and play, so to speak. Um, so yeah.
Okay, Larry. So I just heard that you have, migrated to WCFM Marketplace. Which platform were you using previously?
I was using Membership Pro, and I would not necessarily say I was using it.
Mm-hmm.
I ran into a lot of bugs with the program, things where I would go in after purchase and log in, and the screen was just blank. There was nothing there, um, and obviously I went through customer support that kept telling me to do this, this, and that, and I followed all their instructions. It actually gotten to the point where it was so bad that I had attempted to get my refund after the 30-day guarantee. Well, it was during the 30-day period, um, but during that ordeal, I could not access their program, so their service was in reality, not rendered properly. So I turned around and I requested a refund, and it was just a really bad experience for myself. And I ended up venturing to a couple other membership platforms,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and none of them were actually offering anything that WCFM had offered. Uh, WCFM was actually the last membership program that I ran into, and after downloading and messing with settings, I actually fell in love with the product.
Okay, so what was the best thing that you discovered in WCFM Marketplace?
That's actually a great question, and I can go on for days about this. So WCFM, the reason I was actually looking for a membership is my website. The whole idea of my website was a United Promotions. It's actually the name of the website, UnitedPromotions.com. And the idea behind it was I wanted a bunch of manual printers, small shops that started off with sublimation, direct to garment, obviously screen printers, even digital designers. I wanted a simple place for them to be able to go where one website would be marketed through the United States, and all of these little companies can sit there and market the same website, and we would actually be posted on Google at a higher ranking because of pings. That was the original thought behind starting any membership program or using a membership plugin on my website. And after downloading a few plugins, I realized there were a lot of issues with the idea. The main issue was actually them having access to the back end. I did not want them to have access to the back end of my WordPress. And that was actually one of my biggest concerns. When I had downloaded WCFM, I went through a lot of the settings and I actually found that you guys eliminate the ability for the user to actually use the back end, which was actually a great setting that you guys had implemented. And there was just so much, and it took me a little while to actually go through all your settings. You guys just offer so much in your program and plugin that uh, even if it's something that I have not implemented on my website, it's something that I probably could find. As a matter of fact, this morning I was going through all of the programs that I had or plugins that I have downloaded in the past, and I had just found out that you guys offer um, a plugin added to for Elementor, which I use
Mm-hmm.
Elementor to
Yeah.
design my website. So I had actually just found that this morning. It was updated this past month, and I just added it. Hopefully, after this interview, I'm going to go through and mess with those settings to see what I can do as far as customization on my stores.
Okay, so that's so nice to hear about, you having such a great experience with WCFM Marketplace. But one thing I'm intrigued with is that you previously used Vendors Pro, right? So, I mean, you couldn't actually use it at all. I mean, it had a technical issue, and what was the reply from their side? I mean,
Oh man.
once you once you approach
So
them, because
I
that's
have,
really, intriguing. I mean,
yes, I have contacted the technical support
mm,
via email and through tickets, and they kept, advising me to go ahead and uninstall or deactivate the plugin, reactivate it, to update my themes, and it could be, where it's not compatible with my theme on WordPress. And I was going through so much stuff where I was changing themes. They were telling me which ones are compatible, and
okay,
none of them worked. So I had, and like I originally previously stated, when I would log into their website, it was just blank. There was nothing there. I couldn't even pull up my what are those, the meta keys, to
yeah,
even
yeah, right,
activate the license.
okay,
So it was just one of those things where you can download a plugin, but it was useless. It did nothing for you. So I ended up contacting them, and I got to the point after a couple of weeks that, hey, I just want my money back. This is not doing anything for me. And actually, during that time, like I had mentioned previously, I've tried other plugins, and none of them offered what I wanted besides you guys. And it was actually after I found you guys and I was going through your settings and the ease of use that I said, well, I'm not even going to mess with this Membership Pro plugin. It's just, it's not useful to me. I paid almost $300 for it, and the customer service was just not there. And that's one of the things I strive for, is customer service. And if I'm not
mm-hmm.
getting what I would provide to my customers, then I don't want it in the first place.
Right,
I went through the process of actually trying to get my money back, and they kept postponing everything, saying, "Oh, we sent the ticket to the financial department, and they're going
mm-hmm.
to contact you shortly." Well, weeks went by, and at that point, after I submitted the ticket, it's already been past 30 days, and I still have
30
not received.
days for
Yeah,
refund.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, and this is actually the crazy part. It was over 60 days before I finally contacted my bank to do a
Okay.
reverse payment, because they were refusing to even get back to me. So I ended up doing a reverse payment, ended up finally getting the money back, and
Mm-hmm.
they ended up, fighting it all the way to the end for me. So I didn't have to
Right.
mess with it. Um, so that was all taken care of. And like I mentioned previously, I tried other plugins before I found you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the plugins that I was finding, they were kind of bare. There wasn't much customization to it. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest problems, aside from having backend access to my WordPress, which I did not want,
Mm-hmm.
uh, one of the biggest things was I could not find a plugin that allowed vendors or members to be able to log in and post to my
Mm-hmm.
store. And that was one of the biggest things I wanted. I wanted people to allow people to log in and purchase, allow them to post their own
Mm-hmm.
merchandise on my store,
Right.
or on the store website. And that was one of the problems with a lot of the other programs or plugins. So when I ran across WCFM, I had realized that this plugin actually has a lot to offer. And there was actually so much to offer. It took me days to actually go through all the settings, figure out what I can and cannot do with the program. I had set up numerous testing users to go through to see what the user can and cannot do on their end. And at
Mm-hmm.
first, guys, when I set everything up, it allowed them to have access to the back end. And I was a little concerned about that. And again, I went through settings and after setting, and I found where I can actually limit where they're accessing the back end. And then on WordPress, they have that toolbar, and I was able to remove that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so by the end of actually manipulating your guys' plugin and changing all of the settings to my likings, I actually found that WCFM was exactly what I was looking for.
Okay. So, I mean, you're pretty satisfied with WCFM Marketplace, it seems.
Yes, yes, I would say it's one of my favorite plugins out of all the plugins that I do use. Obviously, the membership, I'm not running two
Mm-hmm.
membership programs or plugins. Um, but as far as the ease of use, even, you know, yeah, I'm the owner of the website, but I also
Mm-hmm.
have a store on my website, my own
Okay.
store,
Yeah,
which is
right.
Color X Prints, and being able to go in and having the options to be able to post my own product, and that's actually one of the big reasons why I was so excited about WCFM was the fact that I would not have to take a vendor's information, their product, and actually post it myself. I wanted
Right.
the website to be able to be ran by itself where I don't have to do
Mm-hmm.
anything. And actually, it brings me down to another aspect that I do like. WCFM limits, and it's easy to do the settings on it. It limits how many products each vendor can offer based on their membership status. So
Mm-hmm.
if they're paying a smaller membership fee, they get less products. If they're paying more of the
Right.
premium end, they can have unlimited products.
Mm-hmm.
And even to top that off, let's say you turn around and you limit them, but then you have an option where they can pay for additional products. It's really great that you can go in now and be able to select a specific store and change how many products they're limited to, regardless of the rule. The global rule is, I believe, is what they say in the settings. The global rule. So you set up your global rule for that membership, but then
Mm-hmm.
you can go into the individual vendor into their store and change from global rule to a user specific rule and be able to change how many products that user can use. So you can sit there as an owner of the site and say, okay, we're going to offer this membership to a customer, and if they want to offer more products, then they pay to play kind of thing, so they can pay, and then you can go into their vendor specific and change how many products based on how much they're paying for.
Okay. So, since you're, so satisfied with WCFM Marketplace, if I tell you on in a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend WCFM Marketplace to, other entrepreneurs who might, run a similar business or any other kind of a new startup? So, how likely are you to recommend WCFM Marketplace?
I would, and this is a non-bias aspect of it. I'm not trying to be biased about it, but it would definitely be a 10, hands
Okay.
uh, based on and really it comes down to my experience with Membership Pro.
Yeah,
And
I mean that's really weird. I mean, I have heard stories of other clients who have used any other solutions, and they did have technical glitches or bad support. That was their reason to switch to WCF and Marketplace. But I mean, it's a first case that I've heard where you haven't even properly used Memberships Pro, and then you had to have face such a lot of issues. So it's really weird from their side.
yeah, and when you actually look at it, would I ever try Membership Pro, even
Hmm.
in the future? The answer is, hands down, no. The
Yeah.
reason behind it is not necessarily what they have to offer, and it seemed like they had everything that I wanted.
Mhm.
The issue is, one, I found WCFM that offers everything I want at a really good price, and
Hmm.
then you've got the customer service, and that's like I have mentioned, that's one of the biggest things I look at. And if the customer service is not there, then I'm not going to mess with it.
Thank you so much, Larry. That was really great talking to you. It was a pleasure, hearing about your experience. I mean, a lot of entrepreneurs now will, get to know why there's a reason why people choose WCFM Marketplace. And thank you so much for your love and support. I mean, that means a lot. Your positive words really mean a lot. Okay, and I just hope that you never ever face such difficulties with WCFM Marketplace. We're always there to, to help you out if you find any kind of issue. So I just hope you never face any such issues further. And thank you so much. It was great talking to you.
Oh, always a pleasure, and I do appreciate the time you have given me today to actually allow other people to learn a little bit more of my experience and what you guys actually have to offer. I think your program is just phenomenal, and I can't wait to continue to use it in the future.
Okay, that's the real point of this interview. A lot of entrepreneurs they have a lot of motivational videos to watch on for, but they don't really have those little nitty-gritties that other entrepreneurs they face the obstacles, they face the problems that they solve it by themselves. And these are the experiences that they really require to know, and that's what we, as Team WCFM Marketplace, we strive to provide it to all the other business people. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye and take care.
You do the same.